This is Dr. Ledbetter, and welcome to African American Experience in the Global Context Online. This short presentation will give you an introduction of the course and what's to be expected from both myself as the instructor and from you as the student. What we'll go over is, first, some things to consider to succeed in this course. We'll touch on grading, and we'll talk about communicating in this course. First, some things to consider. First, the most important thing, this is a full course. Although it's a 5-week summer course, that doesn't mean it is 1/3 of a traditional 15-week course. What it is a 15-week course compressed into 5 weeks. So those of you who have never taken an online course, who have never taken a summer course, understand that it is a tremendous amount of work. Again, this is not a shorter course. It is not less material. It is actually more material in a shorter period of time. So understand that. Understand what you're getting into when you're taking this course. It is a full course, and you'll be expected to learn and to do almost just as much as you would do in a full 15-week course. So keep that in mind. Read, and we'll talk more about reading shortly, but this course we use a textbook, and you will have to keep up with the readings. So make sure you read, and we'll talk more about reading in a second. You need to rely on D2L. D2L is our home base for this course. Of course, you're already on D2L because you're seeing this. So there'll be another presentation talking more about D2L at the end, so we'll get back into that shortly. The last minute often becomes the last minute. I say this to all my classes, both online and in person. We have a lot of deadlines in this course in the 5 weeks. Make sure you are turning your assignments in or doing anything that you need to do well before the deadline. All types of technological problems could happen. If something's due at midnight, don't try to turn it in at 11:59. It might not work out well for you. So keep that in mind. Follow all the directions. And then if you're confused about the directions, don't be afraid to ask questions. When we talk about office hours, you can always email me. But many students, both online and in person, they don't do as well as they could do in the course because they simply don't follow the directions. So make sure you're looking at all the rubrics, all the guidelines, the syllabus, everything you need to follow the directions for the assignments. It's easy to get confused by not doing that. And again, if you have any questions, do not be afraid to ask. How to read for this class. As you can see to the right, that is our textbook for this course, Introduction to Black Studies by Maulana Karenga, the 4th edition. Now, it is okay if you get the 3rd edition. If you can find the 3rd, it's probably cheaper, and the material is pretty much the same. The page numbers might be different, but the chapter numbers are the same. So you can get the 3rd or the 4th edition, and there's a link to this on D2L. You can get the book on Amazon. Read the book with the dictionary or with Google open. It helps. Some of the language can be a little high level, so if you're reading with a dictionary or with Google, it'll help you better understand the text. When you buy your physical text, make sure you highlight and write in the text. It's very important. So you can take notes in it. You can easily get back to the things that you want to use, maybe for an exam, for an assignment. So don't be afraid to highlight and write in the text. Also, this text is great because it has a number of study guides and study questions at the end of each chapter. I always tell students, read the end of the chapter first. The questions. That way, as you're going through the chapter, you can know what to look for and what's going to be asked. And some of these questions might show up in a different form on an exam. So it's always good to read the questions at the end of the chapter first. Again, these are just some tips and techniques of how to read for this class, how to get the most out of this. We'll be doing a lot of reading in our 5 weeks. So make sure you etch out enough time in your day, because this class, I can't say this enough, this class is a full class. It is not a third of a class just because it's 5 weeks. So you'll be doing a lot of reading in a short amount of time. So make sure you Put enough time in your day to get all this done. Grading, and this comes right off the syllabus, which you can access on D2L, and is actually part of the first week's assignment is looking at the syllabus. Course requirements: 40% of your grade is class participation. Now, what does that mean in an online course? It's actively engaging in discussion forums and watching the videos that will be up on D2L. 40% of your grade. So make sure that you look at the discussion forum rubric. Make sure you're answering the questions completely. You'll be asked to interact with fellow students in the discussion forum, and there are rules to that that you can see in the discussion forum rubric, which is posted on D2L as well. You'll have 3 exams. You won't have an exam the first week, but after that you'll have an exam every week, which are worth 15% each. Lastly, you have a final exam or a literature review. I understand that some people write better than they take exams, and some people take exams better than they write. So you have a choice. You can do a final exam or you can do a literature review. And you can see the guidelines for the literature review on D2L. So I won't talk more about that. But understand that you have a choice between the two: final exam or literature review. Lastly, communicating in this course. Office hours. I have 2 types of office hours, which you can see on the syllabus. There will be a traditional email office hours. You can email me if you have a question. I usually get back to emails within an hour, if not sooner, but no more than an hour, unless I tell the class that I won't be in if I'm traveling or something. But you can always email me. The other option, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Friday, I will have Skype office hours. My Skype user ID is on the syllabus. Those of you who have Skype can Skype me, and we can do video office hours. Do not, if you don't have Skype, it's free. You can download it to your computer, and it's an easy way to get maybe some answers to your questions that you want more clarification on, or you want to see my face as I answer them. I understand that's important to some people, so that option is available, so keep that in mind. Discussion post. We talked about this earlier. This is 40% of your grade. There's a rubric for these, and you can see all the details, but most importantly, you're going to be interacting with other students in this class. In these discussion forums, I have to say this: we cannot have abusive language. It's okay to disagree, but we can't attack each other. Please stay on topic in the discussion forums. Let's not delve into things that aren't pertinent to the class. And you can read more about those on the discussion forum rubric, which is on D2L in course documents. Your Cheney email. All of our communication outside of D2L will be through your Cheney emails. Check those regularly. I know a lot of people don't, but you need to for this class. I will not be sending anything to personal emails. Everything will go through your Cheney email address. If you're having problems with it, if you can't access it, or if you're having problems with D2L or anything, you can always contact IT, Cheney's IT department, and they'll be willing to help. But you definitely need to check your Cheney email. From here, we will discuss, there'll be a discussion of, a walkthrough, of our D2L page and some of the things you need to use for that. I have logged in as one of the students in this class, so you can see, so I could see what you see on D2L and walk you through exactly everything you'll see in the upcoming weeks. So next we will go into D2L. You will see the news bar. Normally there will be items here reminding you of things that are due or general questions about class. On the right you'll see the calendar, which tells you again when things are due and important events coming up in the class. The first place you want to go to is the content section. Content. Here you'll see each one of the weeks, and only the first 3 are up right now. The final 2 will be up soon. And what is required of you to complete each one of those weeks. You'll see the first thing you'll see is a table of contents, course documents, and then the week breakdowns, 1, 2, and 3. Course documents is where you'll find most of your basic information about the class. The course syllabus, calendar of events, information about the required text, my contact information and online office hours, discussion forum rules and rubric, guidelines for literature review, and guidelines for the final paper for the class. So when you come here the first day, week 1, you'll click here. What you'll see first is again the syllabus. I need you to review the syllabus, read it over. Our first discussion forum, you'll see the information about that there. There's a short video about African history, and you will see the first reading, chapter 5 from our text is there. You notice here that there is a completion bar. This bar lets you know how many of the topics you've completed. You can check here to check your progress and see where you're at by the end of the week. Same thing for week 2 and week 3. Another page you'll need is discussions. Discussions tab takes you to the discussion. Now you can also get to this by clicking in the content section on the discussion, but this is another way to get to it. You'll see the first discussion forum post is up and what you have to respond to, and you can always check that. The other tab you really need to know is the grades tab. Here you can check your grades on each one of the assignments we have throughout our 5 weeks together, and you can track your progress on there.